what I want to do now is I want to, let me take the noise and I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to just change the color. And this one I'm going to rename kick. Actually, no, I don't want to use this for a kick, do I? It's not going to be good enough. I'm going to come back to that, all right? I'm going to come back to that. So you can tell I'm doing this on the fly. The synth basic I need to use for my kick. All right, so I'm going to rename, so kick. Obviously, it's going to sound nothing like a kick drum to start off with. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's comedy. That's definitely not a kick drum. Let me just try lower. So what can I do to make it sound like a kick drum? Well, you know, what we need to do is to firstly start off with a picture envelope. So I'm going to turn this on, and we've got the amount it's affecting it here. It's probably going to take me a little bit of time to get this right. All right, so I just want to create the sort of the punch of the kick to start off with. So you hear that? If I change the decay, you'll hear this. So it's going from high to low frequency, and whilst I'm doing this, I might as well bring the spectrum so you get some visuals. See that? Going from high frequency to low. So I want to do that quickly. That's not bad. What frequency am I ending up at? 64. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. Because where it ends up is where the tone of the kick is going to be. So if I get my volume envelope now, let me just set this to about 300 or so. Decay. Let's make it the same. Take away sustain. Let's make these both the same. Okay. That's good for the moment. I might need to come back to that. Let's put the filter on, and let's take the resonance off. Let's come to the filter envelope. What I want to do here is to get the beginning quite bright, but then to have the rest of the tone filtered down. So if I bring this down here, you can get a feeling about the actual kick, the end of it here. I'm going to bring the volume up. But we want to get nice bright attack to that sound. So let's bring on the envelope. There we go, starting to shape up now. So decays the time it is coming through the brightness and then shifting down to the dull. Let's make this the same, somewhere around there. Just trying to down the keyboard here. It started distorting. Let me bring the volume down. Do you know what? I like that. I think it really could suit the kind of vibe that I'm going for here. So we got ourselves a kick here. I need to do something else with that, I think. Let me have a look. I think it could do with some compression actually. Let me take the spectrum off now. So bringing out some nice aggressive punch out of this, just slow that attack. Once again, we're a bit loud on the master, and so that the video doesn't end up clipping, I'm just going to stick on the limiter just to protect that. There we go. Right, back onto this kick. I'm only going to know for sure once the track's starting to develop there, but I'm going to add a bit of overdrive to get some extra character. Nah, actually, I don't want to use that one. That's going to be too much character. I want to use instead the saturator. Let's bring the output down. That's got a nice aggressive tone to it. So look, I got myself a kick drum there. It's working nicely. And I'll tell you what, so I know what I'm doing. I'm going to get the musical thing down, this pad. Shift the transpose up again. Yeah, right, okay, let me just record this in. Where are we at? 120, so here we go. Forgot to put my click on here. There's a phone call as well. Right, I'll be back on the other side. Okay, so yeah, I'm just putting the phone on silent there. So yeah, where was I? I was going to record the pad in, but I forgot to put the click on whilst the track was running, didn't I? Right, here we go. Right, that's cool. Let's just have a look. Yeah, so I need to quantize, Command plus U, checking the duration. I'm just going to make that go to the end. Let's take this to the end as well. Let's just have a listen to that. Just going to adjust the velocities. So obviously because of the slow attack on there, it's feeling quite late, but I don't mind that. I think that's going to work quite nicely. The kick, let's take this lower. Okay, just going to do a straight up 4 to the floor kind of a vibe on here. And if that's the case, I might as well just paint this in. So where are we on here? That's the note I'm using, so I do Command B, and let's just get 4 to the floor. Let's trigger that. Now because of the slow attack, I'm going to take the track delay here minus a bit, so it's playing the whole track earlier. So let's have a listen. On my kick, I just want to take the envelope down here. Yeah, I think that's working quite nicely. So I've got myself a kick now, and what I'll do next is to add some hi-hats. So we're going to take noise basic, duplicate, and this is going to become hat. And let's have a look at what's going on with this noise. What have we got? Yeah, that's not like a hi-hat at the moment, is it? So what I need to do is to come to the filter, I'm going to turn it on, going to do the high pass filter. So you can hear there it's become almost like an open hat. I don't want to do the open hat, I want a closed hat. So that means I need to get in and work with the volume envelope. So I'm going to take sustain down. That's a pretty respectable hi-hat already there, isn't it? So let's just make these both the same. Let's bring up the volume. And let's just have a listen to that on top of the other elements. Okay, I'm just going to record that in. All right, here we go. Okay, I missed the loop point there when I was just doing that. Let's just have a look here. Let's take that up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have a listen to that. Just need to quantize them. That's good, but I can see there that I've got a little bit of a duplicate. Well, in fact, it wasn't a duplicate, it was just two notes at the same point. Let me just take all of these, bring these velocities up. And with the hi-hat, I think that's working nicely. Just want to check on the spectrum. Looking pretty good there, to be honest. So what I was wondering is there too much higher frequencies? But I think that's actually quite nice. It doesn't sound too crisp on the highs. If I had this up, it might be a little bit too much. You can hear that resonant peak coming in, but it's actually quite a nice little character. Let's try this spread on there. It's not actually doing anything there, is it really? Wow, let me just check something. Synth basic, I'm on the wrong one. Let me just check something here. Have I got my naming convention wrong? Yeah, you know what it is? I forgot to name the actual instrument here, so that's why I'm getting confused there. This is going to be noise basic, because this is the actual instrument. That's a track. So yeah, that's better. Now I don't have to be as confused. I'm going to rename this closed hat. So a little bit of platform schizophrenia coming in there. It does happen for me because I have to use Cubase, Logic and Ableton. Sometimes it's quite difficult to switch between the three. Anyway, let me have a listen. Just have a listen again. Yeah, the spread's not actually working with the noise on there. So I'm going to think about something else I might do. What I'm going to do is just get a little touch of ping pong delay. Let's take the feedback down. Yeah, I like that because it's got a nice kind of filtered element there. It's feeling like it's got some nice movement. Let's see how that is in the mix. Yeah, that's good. So let me now take a copy of the noise basic, and I'm going to call this snare.